Well, welcome back. We're still with Mr. Salisu Dahiru, the National Coordinator at Nigeria Erosion and Watershed Management Project. Thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you.
Well, we left off with looking at how many areas, how many erosion sites there are and what you have observed. But right now, is funding an issue for NewMap?
Funding is not an issue, but it can be an issue.
In what ways?
Good. The bank has advanced a loan of $500 million, IDA component, blended with grant of about 8.9 million US dollars from the Global Environmental Facility, GEF, and the Special Climate Change Fund. These portions are grants, not loan. Then, for the project proper, these funds are mainly for the interventions, as well as the project management and institutional building and strengthening. The issue of compensation, provision of additional livelihood options, and the basic remunerations of staff normally come in two forms: as part of counterpart funding from the federal government as well as the participating states, and in-kind contribution by way of provision of office, support infrastructure, training, as well as other in-kind contributions that the states can do. Now, this might appear big, but for a size like Nigeria, this may not be sufficient, particularly when you view this against the backdrop of the number of the gully erosion sites, the severity of these gully erosion sites, and the fact that various other forms of land degradation are occurring in different parts of the country, that if not addressed early, can also take us and land us in the same point where we are with respect to these large gullies. And addressing or correcting these gullies is also high cost demanding. So in the long run, yes, there may be need to seek additional funding, and I am aware that the bank is more than willing to provide such additional funding. So, give or take, this amount is sufficient for the early takeoff of these projects. But now that additional states are lining up to join, so far there are 7 additional states.
Additional?
Yes.
You started off with 7 states.
Correct.
So you have 14 now.
Yes, we have 14 in principle, and there are also the likelihood that there could be more.
So you're enjoying a lot of support from states?
Sure, because look, if you've been following the budgetary flow from the states, you know that most of the states are still experiencing some difficulty in having sufficient funds to do everything. And the high demand for funds to correct some of these erosion sites have made it difficult for states to even contemplate, talk less of wanting to invest in the corrective measures. So this is a wonderful opportunity that states will be more than keen to take and help to salvage the environment.
Some people might think right now that NUMAP activities sort of might be duplicated, given that Ecological Fund Office also does undertake such projects as well. What sort of collaboration is there?
Two things. Duplication, no. Because the state of the environment with respect to land degradation in Nigeria is too large for one single agency to handle. So, no duplication. We cannot go to the same sites with ecological funds, and there are more than enough sites for both agencies to go to. Collaboration, yes, particularly in the area of exchange and sharing of information, particularly technical information in terms of data, some of the studies that NUMAP has done. After all, it is all for Nigeria, and the funds being used for these will be paid eventually by Nigeria. So we share this information. We also collaborate, particularly in the area of capacity building and socio-economic, studies.
How do you monitor to know if duties or activities might be duplicated? Or are you saying that NUMAP gives the Ecological Fund Office its strategies and you put heads together to know that these sites we would handle, these other sites you might handle, something like that?
You see, the way NUMAP is designed cannot in any way allow for this duplication at all. For instance, the selection process for the erosion sites are quite different, and there is no way that the Ecological Fund will be involved in a particular site and suddenly NUMAP goes there and the World Bank will not raise a very big flag. It's not possible. And the design of NUMAP is such that there are various levels of cross-checking things out. At the federal level, we are going to have, or we have in place, an engineering design and supervision firm that helps to coordinate the design of all the erosion sites under NUMAP. And at the state level, each state also has its own design and supervision firm. The idea is to ensure the best quality in terms of output. And then you also have community monitoring. There are community site committees that involves all the stakeholders within the project site. They have mandates to supervise, to be involved in what the various firms working on that project are doing, no matter how big you are, and also to provide additional oversight. There are also what we call umbrella non-governmental organizations, whom I believe you know are the eyes of the public with respect to all developmental projects of either the World Bank or the UN system. And then you also have focal NGOs at the state level. Look, these systems, if one compromises its integrity, I believe the other will not.
Thank you very much, Mr. Salisu Dahiru, for your time and for coming on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you.
You can also join us on the program by sharing your experience with us using the address and Twitter handle on your screen. Let us know what's happening around your area, especially if you're in the nation's capital. Don't forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Make your comments after viewing the current video as well as older episodes of the program, and let us know your name and where you're writing from. Thank you for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umezuki. See you again.